When I push it forward, that's when it kind of vacuums it up a little bit. As you can see, there are a little bit of dry spots here, but obviously majority of it is wet. So I think the rating is pretty deserved. The suction on this is not too crazy, but still better than a lot of the kind of no-name HydroVacs out there. Next is the deep clean, and as you can see, I have some dried grape juice and some dried ice cream to test on this, and I went through one pass to give you guys a kind of result of what that looks like. And with the one pass, it didn't get everything perfectly, but I eventually do another pass going forward again and then back, and that's where it got majority of the dry stains. So in terms of kind of the deep cleanability, this is not the absolute best I have seen, but it still does a pretty good job for the value. So the current rating of 3.3 is quite low. I would definitely bump that up to at least like a 3.8 or even like a 4, because the deep clean is not that bad on this one. It's actually quite good, especially for the value you're getting. Next is the scent feature, which is quite high at 4.6. And I can see why, because I've used the vacuum to clean up all the dried grape juice and all the dried ice cream here. And I've smelled it, and it only smells like the cleaning solution I put into the vacuum. So this definitely is really, really good when it comes to kind of getting rid of scent. So I definitely would agree with the rating of 4.6, so I'll just leave it at that. Next, we have the lightweight. I'll give a measurement to see how light this is with the water tank on full and a little bit of liquid on the dirty water tank to see how much this weighs. And as you can see, with everything, it is around 4,600 grams, so basically 4.6 kilograms. And this is not too bad. A lot of the vacuums of this sort usually weighs around like 5.5 or even like 5 kilograms. So this is quite an improvement, especially when you need to haul this around. That's a pretty big advantage. Every gram really matters, especially when you're kind of going back and forth with this. So yeah, I would agree with the rating of 4.3, so we'll just leave it at that. Next, we have the maneuverability. We'll kind of give you a demonstration of how that is. When you turn it on, it's pulling on you slightly, but not too much. And when you lift it up, it really pulls on you like that. So I'm really not even holding on it, and it's going on its own. It's very easy to swivel as well. It can basically go 180 degrees, and basically because of the roller is going at such a high speed, it does pull you forward a little bit, so you don't have to put in as much work. What I will say though, when it does, because the roller is forcing it to move forward a little bit, it is a little bit of a tougher time to pull it backwards. But it is not too much resistance, but it is something to make note of. But in terms of kind of maneuverability, range of motion, that is very high. I gotta bump that score up to like a 4.4 since it is at a 4.2. It's got great maneuverability. Next is the ease to use, which is at a 4.0. So we'll see how that does. Basically, the controls is down to 2 buttons. Turn it on, and this is for the rug mode. You turn this off and on, and this rug mode basically means, I'm pretty sure, once it is on rug mode, there is no water going into the mop down here. And when you do turn it on, you have some LEDs going on here. When you turn on the rug mode, you see that it is on right here, but usually the LED is off even when in use. And sometimes there will be some flashing icons like this. It makes note of it. If it's blue flashing and its full tank is full, if it's red flashing, that means that a water tank is low. So there is some kind of knowledge you need to read on to know what the icons mean. There are even more icons which you can find in the manual, but most of the time you don't have to worry about them. And it's very easy to fill up and kind of take out. You press this button down there to take out the tank, screw it off and fill it with water, and you put it back on just like that. Pretty simple. This, you click down, it comes out. There are little ridges on the side where you can pull them out, clean it, dump it, and then you put it back in. And for the mop down here, you click on this button, it pops on out, you lift this up right here, and this you can wash it, clean it, wash it inside, clean it as well. And lastly, for the self-cleaning, you have to be in the dock, has to be plugged in, and you press the on button and it'll automatically start cleaning itself. We measured it, it took around 2 minutes, and it did a pretty good job cleaning in there. So I would say all this is very easy knowledge and very easy to kind of get used to when using this. So I would definitely rate this as higher as a 4.2 in terms of ease to use. There is a little bit of issue with reading some of the icons because they're not fully intuitive, but having these instructions here does help tremendously. But yeah, overall, it got either on point or a little bit above average in all the categories, so I gotta give this a recommendation. Especially for the price range, if you can get this on a great value, this would be a tremendous pickup.